So I created this new segment. Very excited. I'm interested. Agree or disagree. So each of us are just gonna ask a question to the other two. Do you agree or disagree? Um, and I'll start. So, agree or disagree that your preseason number one team is in the city of San Antonio? Agree or disagree, Lyndon?
I'm going to disagree, but I know that we're going to get to that later when we do our rankings because I wasn't in San Antonio. Hand up. I'll watch some film on it, but seeing a few teams in Houston in person, I would right now give the nod to them for preseason number one. But like we said, a lot of times those number one versus number two matchups get played early. Last year we had it with Brennan versus Allen down at Texas Invitational. And I think that right now my top two teams are both in the field for that event. So we may be able to see that again very early on in the season.
Real quick before I ask your answer, Blue, I'm making this topic. I forgot that you had to have some type of rebuttal on both sides of things. Like if we would have just did this topic and was like agree or disagree, and Lyndon was like disagree, and we moved on, this topic would
Next.
suck. So I appreciate you giving me
Well,
something. Blue, agree or disagree that
hey, but the Brennan, the Brennan fan boards are just exploding now with questions
I
because
didn't
of
say I didn't say a team name
because of the
exactly.
answer of
I didn't
Oh,
Linden.
we're
I
just
didn't
talking about San Antonio
I
in
just
general,
said San
Blue.
Antonio. I didn't say a team name. Are you showing your hand? Okay, agree or disagree. The preseason number one team in your personal rankings is in San Antonio. Agree or disagree?
Well, I'm just saying that they're lighting up over there because they're saying that we're talking about them, which it's fun to talk about them, isn't it? Who is it? I'm not trying to be politically correct here, but this will be a hot topic. We were talking about storylines. We're talking about who's. Do I agree with you? Do I disagree with you? I'm a little split. I'm a little split.
this
But if you're going
is
to
great.
tell me I did, if do I disagree? I think I disagree. I think I disagree with it by just by this much, because of depth of other teams, of one other team that I really like.
There you go. You saved yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
No, 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 no. Y'all know who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I do. All right, Blue. You're
I
hot
don't
right
like
now.
this topic.
You're
Next.
no, you're hot right now. Go ahead. Hit us with something.
Oh gosh. Well, um, Dallas Carter. This is pretty interesting. You called this one. Some rankings dropped, and Dallas Carter is a very interesting team here. They're not number one in their own district. I'm sorry, in their own classification uh, from another publication. However, I think they're a top three team in the state of Texas, regardless of class. Agree or disagree, Michael?
I'll say this. I'll disagree, but that doesn't mean it's far off from that. Being top three, regardless of class, is a very high level thing to say. But I know how much, don't get me wrong, I think that they can play with anybody in the state of Texas. There's just a lot of killers, and that's what we talked about the depth of this. I
Yeah.
think they're a top 10 team regardless of class, which is still a high honor. And I do think other publications might have got it wrong. And I think we're going to get it right when we put out our rankings. So, yeah. Lyndon, what do you think?
So
Oh my
I'll,
gosh.
I'll I'll say this. I'm not going to it's disagree, but with an asterisk because I do think that they are the best team in DFW. Um, so and here's the other
Well,
thing: we have not seen them. We have not seen them at 100% yet this fall. Early on when they had Terrell Jackson, Shaq Kizzy's hurt, Cade Neeson has missed a lot of time. We have not seen the full product of what it's going to look like of the rotation and all that stuff. So I think they very well could end up being a no doubt top three team in the entire state, regardless of classification, once we see it all together. So I'm gonna asterisk it and say that if they were healthy and we saw that and it looked even better than what we've seen, and they've been great at both fall tours that they've come to. But I'm just going to say that, they have a real chance and they have a possibility to be, one of the top 3 teams, if not the best team in Texas, once they're fully healthy.
Well said. Before we ask yours, Lyndon, I will say this. This is probably the most uncomfortable segment we've ever done because we're a podcast where it's all positive. And this is the closest thing we have to being negative about a team or a situation, even though we're not. It's just like if you say no, you're going against the grain. So I just want everybody that's watching this to know we like doing this. This is fun, but it's like the most uncomfortable topic we've ever talked about because we're going against a team. So we have to if we were making a podcast where we were just bashing whoever and saying good and bad things, yeah, we'd probably have thousands of views right now. But we're a very positive publication here, so this is as dicey as it gets for us. So, Lyndon, make it more dicey right now with yours.
Yeah, no, put some fuel on the fire. Okay, let me start out by saying this. I'm going to hit y'all with a question that'll get into my agree disagree. But I promise this is not an insult stat. But since the state tournament moved to the Alamo Dome, both of y'all, how many state titles has the Greater Houston area won in classes 6A through 4A?
I got a question for you though on this.
Oh, the question with the question.
What? No. What is the radius in which we're talking about here? Are we claiming?
He said Greater Houston.
Greater Houston.
Beaumont, Greater Houston.
Beaumont, Port Arthur, Silsbee, they are their own region. That's Golden Triangle, Southeast Texas, whatever you want to call it. But that's separate. And we're talking just Greater Houston.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to say a number because I have no idea, but I'm not going to disrespect anybody over there. So I'm going to say 10.
I'm going to say 1, Cy Falls.
1, Cy Falls in 2017. You're right. Trajan Wesley, Nigel Hawkins, that's the last one. But my point being, agree or disagree, is this the year that DFW's run of dominance in the number of state titles gets flipped?
I will agree.
Yeah.
I will agree. There's just so much, like we talked about, there's so many storylines that haven't happened. The only thing that scares me is that the depth will start to knock out depth in these playoff runs. Because we've already seen because Lyndon, you're by far the best when it comes to understanding who's going to go what route, who's going to play who and what rounds of playoffs. I have no idea. I just see talent. I'm like, oh, they can win state. I agree just because of the depth in other regions. But Dallas, the DFW area, they know how to get to that Alamo Dome and they know how to produce. So it'll be very interesting. But at this point right now, with what I've seen in the fall, I'm going to agree.
Blue?
Okay, I'm going to admit to you, I didn't hear the full question because I was looking at my reaction to winning a prize that really does not exist when I said Cy Falls. You're wanting to know, is this a year for Houston to capture a title, basically?
Or just the run of DFW dominance that has been. So the stats behind this, in the past, since the tournament has been moved to the Alamo Dome, DFW has won 25 state titles between 4A through 6A, and obviously the last year with the different divisions. Beaumont, Port Arthur, Silsbee, Southeast Texas has 6. Houston has 1. And the only other outlier that is not with DFW is actually Bridgeport, going way back with that team that they had in 2015, my senior year in high school, where they won. And we won't count them as DFW because they're West Oplex. But yeah. So agree or disagree, is this the year that DFW's run of dominance can get flipped by the rest of the state?
I'm going to say yes, it can. But also to Michael's point is big school, small school off the top of your head. And so, but I think for the most part, though, and I'm kind of looking here at some of our ranking stuff of for high school teams and so forth, and it could happen this year. And guess whose name I fell on was Cy Falls again. Just kind of looking through the list of the Houston teams. We know that two of them that they're more than likely, wouldn't it be Katy, Seven Lakes, and Atascocita having to play each other, Linden, along the way here, and so Cy Falls. I mean, that I guess I shouldn't be getting too much into that kind of talk, but yeah, I think that we're looking at a lot of Houston teams because of our we're unsure of like who's going to be that team that's going to step up. If there's the no doubters, I think that it's just not going to be handed to somebody that we can sit here and crown and say, hey, they're going to be in San Antonio, which in the past we've been able to do a lot of predicting like that.
Hey, Lyndon, would my favorite in San Antonio have to play my favorite in Houston or at the state tournament, or does it reset?
So it's the new format. They're always going to have to play each other in that game that was at Texas Southern last year. That's basically the way it's going to be. Region 3 is always going to play Region 4. Region 1 is always going to play Region 2, and then the winners of those games meet up at the Alamo Dome.
Because just in 6A, I like playing this game. Where will my favorite Austin team? Will they be Division 1 or Division 2 in 6A?
They will be Division 2 if things play out the way that it looks on paper, at least.
Okay. I'm still gonna do it.
They're gonna be Division 1 or Division 2. What'd you say?
His favorite Austin team will be D2, based on the numbers. Yes.
Holy smokes!
I'm still gonna say I agree that the run is over, but there's just so many teams in the DFW that know what they're doing when they get to the Alamo Dome.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have to flip it on the head in terms of run the table. It's just getting one. I mean, we can say very easy. Region 4. Look at Region 4 when the last time somebody won from that region. So
like
it's very interesting because I had no idea that your favorite team would be Division 2. Holy.
Forget the dominance, I guess. It's like, is it a win if they get one? And I don't think it is.
Talking what, 8 years, 9 years?
From that perspective, I don't think they want to come in and just get one. But
correct.
I mean, this feels like we're talking Ryder Cup. Like USA just needed to get like a point on the board at some point. But I just do think there's just so much talent. Whoever gets out of those non-DFW regions will have a real shot this year, in my opinion. So
I'm just going to throw this name out real quick to you, Lyndon. Katy Jordan, are they big or small?
Small. I mean, they played for it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to ask these questions like I'm asking them. Hey, there's another.
Oh, I mean, his brain. He's a math guy. Like he can just sit there and he knows the digits. He may already have the realignment for 2026.
I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, there's just so much talent that I'm going to say non-DFW got a real chance. And don't sleep on. I know we talked a lot about Houston, but don't sleep on Region 4 in general. Just because, don't sleep on them. All right. Well, that's enough of that. We got out of there. We got out of there kind of unscathed. We're gonna finally start getting our clips clipped up and edited and making us look real bad. So I can't wait for that. We're gonna turn to villains here quick. Appreciate everybody rocking with us.